is a song in my soul. It sings I am whole. Everywhere I go, it sings I am whole. There is a song in my soul. It sings I am whole. Everywhere I go, it sings I am whole. 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 There is a song in my soul. It sings I am healed. I take a breath and know that I am healed. There is a song in my soul. It sings I am healed. I take a breath and know that I am healed. 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 There is a song in my heart. It sings I am loved. It whispers in my ear that I am loved. There is a song in my heart. It sings I am loved. It whispers in my ear that I am loved. 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 There's a song in my soul, it sings of my joy. It bubbles up from deep inside, pure sweet joy. There is a song in my soul, it sings of my joy. It bubbles up from deep inside, pure sweet joy. I am joy, I am 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 joy. There is a song in my soul. It sings I am love. A beaming ray of spirit's light. I am love. There is a song in my soul. It sings I am love. A beaming ray of spirit's light. I am love. 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 I am whole. I am whole. I am healed. I am healed. I am love. I am love.
Good morning and welcome to the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living. And that was Jeff and Frank riffing. Wasn't that a great way to begin? You know, that was just before COVID decided to move into the world. And it was delightful. What a great way to start the day. Well, welcome. We're so glad that you're here with us for our live stream celebration here from Paoli, Pennsylvania. This is a place that we come for comfort, for inspiration. We gather to feel connected with each other, connected with the Spirit of God itself. And this is our beloved community. I'm Maxine Kaye, and I'm thrilled to be the leader of this beautiful spiritual community. It's funny to call myself the leader when I have so many bright, marvelous people who are leaders in this community. And sometimes when they're getting these great inspirational ideas and they're moving and shaking and they're running ahead of me, I'm going, wait, I'm your leader. But here we all are together, supporting and loving each other, teaching and practicing the principles of science of mind. And how grateful we are that we truly are in the process of doing everything we know how to do to co-create a world that works for everyone. It's not there yet, not even close. But until we continue with all of our beloved light workers all over the world to be successful in continuing to send the love and the energy of possibility everywhere, until that time, we won't yet be seeing a world that works for all. Don't we need to continue to do our part? Yes, we do. And we are also always providing spiritual tools for every imaginable human condition. And we are in the process, all of us as light workers everywhere, we are in the process of awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. There are so many people who don't know that yet. You and I forget it every now and then too, don't we? But we are in the process of waking up and awakening others to the truth of our being. And we have a wonderful saying here. It's a beautiful, powerful statement, and it is a vision statement that we've created right here in Paoli, Pennsylvania. Would you say it with me if you care to? Living, loving, learning. Spirituality that works, yes. Now we're going to begin with a song that was sung some time ago by our GPCSL music team, and it is My Soul is Welcome Here, just as you are welcome here today.
So we're just going to do a rank song, so everyone please rise and sing with us, My Soul is Welcome Here.
That was fun. Thank you, thank you. Well, hi kids. Would you like to come and say hello for a little bit? Hi. Oh, always so glad to imagine you, because that's what I get to do right now since I don't yet get to see you again, but I will. I get to imagine your beautiful faces and how tall you've gotten since I've seen you last. So today is what is often considered Palm Sunday. And this week is actually, later in the week, begins our Jewish friends' commemoration of Passover. And I always love it when Passover and Easter come together this closely because they're both about preparing ourselves for greater freedom. They're both about being courageous and willing to take a journey that may have been difficult to think about taking. As Jesus entered the city of Jerusalem on the back of a donkey, they say, people were greeting him and celebrating him. He had a lot of courage because he knew what was going to be taking place that week, which is called Holy Week. And yet he came in, was greeted, and celebrated on his journey to his divine mission. Passover, which begins later this week, Passover is all about the Hebrews being freed from the slavery in Egypt by that mean old Pharaoh. Oh boy, he was a mean old guy. And ultimately, they were able to be freed, and they got to go on their journey to a new freedom. So it's all about fulfilling our destinies. It's about moving beyond limitation and any bondage and feeling free, because in both cases, the divine love and wisdom of God was guiding and supporting and loving everybody. It's the same with us. If there's something in your little world or big world that feels like you're being limited, and I'm not talking about your parents saying, no, you can't go out till you finished your chores. That's just part of what we do. But if there is something within you, as there is sometimes something within us that seems to be limiting us from moving forward with a beautiful idea, a great notion about something we would like to do that we don't feel real confident about, that's where we get to just sit quietly, take a deep breath, go within, and invite the presence of God to lift us in our consciousness so that we are prepared and willing to go ahead and do something wonderful. Maybe we didn't think we could, but you can, with the presence of God's love and encouragement and wisdom guiding you, guiding us all. Okay, thanks for being here today. I hope that you'll get to be with us next Sunday in person on Easter Sunday. And you'll hear more about that later. Actually, your parents will hear more about it because they're probably the ones who are going to drive you there. But we have a wonderful room in a lovely hotel where we will meet together and celebrate Easter Sunday. Be with us if you can. Go have fun. Bye for now. Thanks for listening. After that, I need a meditation. Love those kids. Can hardly wait to see them. Okay. Let's begin by taking a few deep, holy breaths. Breathing in the life of Spirit, the peace, the love. And exhaling anything that seems other than that, because there's no truth to it, but let's just breathe it all out. And now as we take a deep sacred breath of divine life, knowing that it is love and it is peace moving through us, let's also, in our exhalation, share that love and that peace with everyone near us and everyone everywhere. Feeling and knowing that circulation of love and wisdom within our bodies, within our emotions, within our minds, we begin to feel a deep peace, the peace of God, which not only passes understanding, but truly brings understanding. Let this peace envelop us. Let the love flow through us. And let us feel a divine inspiration as we settle into our hearts, as we give thanks for our ability to see truth beyond every error, to see harmony and right activity beyond anything that seems chaotic. The peace of God reigns within each sentient being, beginning with our own hearts. The peace of God is an energy that is infinite. And allow it now, let's allow it now, as it fills our bodies, our emotions, and our minds. Allow this peace to begin moving out into the world, touching, blessing, reminding, inspiring, and allowing all humankind to move away from any fixation on false appearances, temporary happenings in the world, and into the deep, deep experience of the serenity, the tranquility of the power of spirit. For peace is powerful. It is the only power, the power of peace combined with the infinite power of love that is even now changing conditions within our own consciousness and within the world itself. Everything is energy. Everything is receptive to the true expression of love and peace, moving from the very center of our hearts, which all abide in the central heart of God itself. And that emanation of the loving peace and the peaceful love is doing its holy work, cleansing, renewing, and refreshing ourselves, our loved ones, and all the world. Continue watching it move out, changing conditions, healing hearts, lifting consciousness everywhere. Let's come into the sacred silence now for a moment and just feel the peace and the love and its flow from the very center of our hearts. All is well. All is well. All manner of things are well. Deep, deep within our hearts, we know this to be the truth, the eternal truth, and we are grateful.
Get Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Wanna sing with me? Get ready. Get ready, my soul. Diving in. I'm diving into the deepest kind of love, to the deepest kind of love, the sweetest kind of life, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
Ah, that touches my soul every time I hear it. Thank you, beloved Daniel Namod. Now, I would like to introduce to you for our morning spiritual mind treatment our practitioner, Mary Furtaw.
Good morning. My name is Mary Furtaw, and I am a practitioner at the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living in Paoli, Pennsylvania. Please join me as I speak these words of truth. There is one power in the universe, and the power is a force for good. This power comes from the one source. The source is God, and God is infinite goodness. And each of us is an extension of this energy, inseparable from it forever. Now in Psalm 27, verse 11, we read, "Teach me thy ways, O Lord, and lead me on a plain path." The path is plain when there are few distractions. The path is plain when it is straight. The path is plain when it leads us home to God, to truth, to healing. For God is truth, and truth heals. And I am grateful to know this. I release this treatment to the law, certain that it is so, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Mary. Will you join with me in speaking our affirmation for the day? I am grateful for the divine guidance that leads me ever upward in my deepening awareness of the presence of love and wisdom within me. Oh. This year's theme from Centers for Spiritual Living has been and continues to be living everyday wonder. That is a very inspirational message, isn't it? All by itself. For us to live every day in the wonder of every moment, the beauty of this life, the possibility that exists within all. I love that. And then for the month of April, our community, the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living, has chosen the theme Emergence of Life. Isn't that perfect for springtime and for all of the great celebrations that take place during this month? And today I want to talk about Get Ready My Soul. And Daniel Nema does a beautiful job with that song as well. This is Palm Sunday. And this is also just a few days away, as we were sharing with the kids earlier, from Passover. So I would like to begin with a quote from Ernest Holmes, from The Science of Mind. "The way is made clear before me. I do not falter nor fail. The way of the Spirit is my way, and I am compelled to walk in it. My feet are kept on the path of perfect life. The way is prepared for me, and that way is a path of peace, of fulfillment, and joy. The way is bright with the light of love and kindness. The way I tread is a pleasant and happy one. I see the way, and I walk in it." Beautiful, simple. Let's all get on board with that. Walking in the way of truth, of love, of kindness, of possibility. So you see, as you and I are following the paths of our spiritual evolutionary process, what we learn is to trust the divine presence within us that is always guiding us, always showing us the way, always inspiring and motivating us. And I wish to grasp each opportunity that comes along, whether I would call it positive or negative, each opportunity that comes along to move closer to the emergent life. And we have the opportunity to do this, for we let love go before us and make all the crooked places straight. Have you noticed there are crooked places on our paths? There always have been, and there always will be, but we can turn those boulders, whether they're small pebbles or larger ones, we can turn those stumbling blocks into stepping stones. And it is that attitude that allows us to move along our pathway with more grace and more ease than we ever imagined we were possible to experience. As Moses led the Jews, the Hebrews, out of the land of Israel, where they had been in bondage for years, out of Pharaoh's bondage and cruelty, same way, we must leave behind all limitations, all blockages to our happy continuation on the pathway of our spiritual evolutionary process. And then we begin to feel free. Don't you know we were created to be free? We were created to be limitless life and to live it and to express it and to experience it with great joy and to share that great experience of the limitless feeling of freedom and joy with everyone we encounter. So I think it's time we really began doing that sincerely and earnestly, as Dr. Holmes would say. Passover begins this coming weekend, April 15th in the evening. Everything starts at sundown there with our Jewish friends. So like that, like the Hebrews who became free after all of the visitations of horrible things that rained on Pharaoh in order for him finally to let go his grip on control and cruelty. By the way, that hasn't stopped in the world, has it? We have pharaohs of all kinds in our world. We even have pharaohs of all kinds within our own consciousness. Those false beliefs that keep us from moving forward the way we know we wish to, desire to, intend to. And so maybe we ought to visit a few plagues on some of those within our consciousness and say, enough already, I am free. I am a child of God, becoming an adult of God, and I don't need to feel the limitation anymore. And we're speaking to those patterns within us that we have created habitually by believing too much in things that we were told that never were true. We can become free of those things. So no more victim consciousness. It's really time for us to become victors in our own consciousness and in our own lives, and to encourage the people that we know and love, and even those we don't know but still love, to become victorious in their own lives as well. That's what this great teaching is about. That's what this philosophy is about. Remember when years ago Ernest Holmes was asked by someone, what is this religious science supposed to do? What's it going to do to make a difference? And he borrowed the words from Carl Jung, and he said, it is simply to lift the collective unconsciousness, which is what the collective unconscious, same thing, which is what Carl Jung referred to. It's to lift it. We have the power to lift it. Don't we remember that everything in this life is energy? Everything is energy. And we have an opportunity, and I would say a happy, joyous responsibility, to set our intentions in such a way that we are using this creative energy to make a difference, a beautiful difference in our lives and in the greater world itself. You know, there's a lot of focus in the Hebrew Bible about the stranger in a strange land, reaching out to those that have been displaced. Let's keep that in mind, as I'm going to refer to that again soon. Now let's talk about Palm Sunday. I don't have any palm fronds here. The story goes that Jesus rode humbly on the back of a donkey, yet triumphantly into Jerusalem, the city of peace. So we are preparing wisely for a greater experience of the divine. He's the great way shower, showing us how we too can prepare humbly and confidently and courageously for the continuation of our soul's spiritual journey. It can be a joyful thing. But you see, he knew what was to come. He knew that the crucifixion would take place, that the resurrection would take place. This was his divine mission. There was no question in his mind, and he had the humility and the courage to ride into that city. By the way, the city of Jerusalem in those days wasn't that big in terms of its population, but every year at Passover time, the population grew exponentially because everybody wanted to come for Passover in the city of Jerusalem. And so it was a huge, he was riding on the back of a donkey like a rock star into this throng of people who were welcoming him, throwing palm fronds before him and clothing. He was coming in like a hero, humbly, courageously. We can learn to move through our journeys in consciousness with both humility and confidence. Now, the confidence that we feel is in the great power for love and goodness that's within us. It's the presence of the divine itself, which accompanies us every step of the way, whether we are walking, riding on an animal, or taking an Uber or a limousine. We are still moving in the direction of our soul's dreams, which is to remember and to realize the divinity that is our reality, that authentic self. So both of these stories, the story of the Passover, the story of Palm Sunday, involve powerful journeys from limitation to freedom. As individuals and groups establish themselves clearly and courageously on our evolutionary paths. Don't you realize we are continually in an evolutionary process? We may try and hold back. No, I'm not going on that trip. You're already on it. So why not go moved with grace and with ease, and knowing that this power and the presence within us knows how to move us through every moment of this adventure. Let's be an adventure. Stop dragging our heels and let's go. I'm signed up for it. Let's continue to move forward. And here there really is no place for victim consciousness. It's important for us to move through that. Now again, in the Hebrew scriptures, we read a lot about strangers and the need to embrace them. Our Ukrainian brothers and sisters are not strangers. And they're not victims either. They're courageous. And they know who they are, and they will be victorious. In spite of what we're seeing, 11,000 people were displaced in just 6 weeks. And we're welcoming these refugees. Here in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, we're all already welcoming them, as well as the Afghani refugees who've been coming in, and others. This is what's going on in the world. It's not new. I'm sorry that it's still going on. I can't believe it. Can you? Sometimes it's just like, how can there be such barbaric behavior in the year 2020? How can it be when we, the light workers all over this world, continue to focus on the possibility of love and the power of love rather than the love of power? How can it be? Well, we're still in process. We're still walking this road together. We're not there yet, but we have to keep walking and holding on to our brothers and sisters as we walk along with them. One of our CSL ministers is a dear friend of an Episcopalian minister. Now, I also was a very good friend of an Episcopal minister in my center in Alamo, California, my very first church, actually. And what's wonderful too is that Father Ted had also served in Monterey, California, when our beloved Dr. Carlton Whitehead was serving our religious science church in Monterey. And they became friends. And so I know how special it is as ministers of New Thought to be in good company with people like Father Ted and with people like the gentleman who's a friend of our minister up in Hayward, of the St. Bartholomew's Episcopal Church. And in fact, my friend Ted Ridgway, having known Carlton Whitehead and then me for quite a while, said to me one day, "You know, you people really aren't so far out. You're really pretty far in." You see, when we're working with and having friendships with people who understand the invisible and the mystical side of life and the power of God's love to help us work together to solve our challenges and the problems in the world, it is a very, very sweet thing. We see each other truly, clearly, authentically. Well, I want to share with you a bit of what this gentleman from St. Bartholomew's Episcopal Church shared recently. He's speaking about Jesus going up to the mountain with 3 of his closest friends and followers. He says, "There they see a supernatural scene, and in its immediate aftermath, Moses and Elijah appear for a short while. But after speaking with Jesus about his imminent departure, they themselves depart, and only Jesus remains." He's saying that Moses, bringing the law, Elijah, the prophet who always spoke the truth, whether it got him in trouble or not, and Jesus the Christ represent faith, hope, and love. He goes on to say that, yes, in Christ we certainly see aspects of the lawgiver and the prophet, but he is so much more than that. Christ is the physical embodiment of the simple truth that God is love. So another feature of this transfiguration scene that got his attention is what Peter, his constant follower and companion, says and does. He says there's no question in Peter's mind that something utterly unique is happening here, and he wants to spring into action. When we see things in the world that need our attention, don't we want to spring into action? Well, he wants to do something about it. He wants to build 3 dwellings, one for Moses, one for Elijah, and one for Jesus. But there are other plans, or non-plans, that God has in mind. Peter doesn't do anything here. He just needs to be, to watch, to take it all in. He just needs to witness and be fully present. Be fully present. And we see the same thing, he says, the same principle at play, even more profoundly in the crucifixion scene. The men get all caught up in the drama. They bluster and they say bold words. They pull out their swords. Then they get terrified and they all run away. Now, I am not male bashing, not at all. I'm just telling you what this minister said. Then he says, but the women behave quite differently. They just stay present. They witness. They are the ones who remain at the foot of the cross, loving and being present to Jesus through his last breath. It is this presence, this witness, this willingness to remain at the foot of the cross, even if that's all we have the power to do. That is our role in today's story. Faith, hope, and love abide, these 3, and the greatest of these is love. We show this to be true when we stick around to love, even when faith and hope seem to have utterly fled. The opportunities to practice this are practically innumerable. The news of war in Ukraine this week has been heartbreaking. Countless innocent people are being killed, hurt, and displaced. And what I struggle with the most, this is the gentleman from St. Bartholomew, what I struggle with the most is the sense of utter powerlessness. In the face of the machines of war, it feels as though we individual humans can do nothing to stop the madness. So the temptation is to tune it all out, to ignore the plight of others and wall ourselves off from the pain. But the calling of today's message is to do just the opposite. We may not, on a practical level, be able to do anything to stop this, at least not immediately. We are not likely to wake up tomorrow in a world where the massive systems that led us to this point have been dismantled and replaced. But we can keep our hearts open. At the level of spirit, we can be deeply present to those who are hurting, those experiencing violence and terror. We can stand at the foot of the cross, just being present as loving witnesses. And we can do likewise closer to home. As someone who regularly encounters people in hospitals, jails, and homeless shelters, I can tell you it never gets any easier. So long as I do not wall myself off from the pain, the day when these ministries feel easier never arrives. I look at people who are facing sickness of body or mind, deadening poverty, or having their freedom taken away, and I desperately wish there were something I could do, some action I could take that would just make the pain go away. But there's often no such action on the menu. And so what remains is what Peter had such a hard time doing, just being there, just witnessing, just loving, just standing at the foot of the cross. Love may be the greatest of the three. It is also probably the hardest. To simply be with others, hearts wide open, in everything they experience, may be one of the hardest challenges humans need to face. And yet, it is probably the most essential. Have you ever had someone with you, I mean really with you, in one of your darkest moments? Not fixing, not judging, perhaps not even talking. Perhaps you weren't even aware of their presence at the moment. But they were just there with you. Doesn't that make all the difference in the world? This is the way of Christ, the way of love, the greatest way. It's walking into situations over and over where we feel powerless and failure seems to be the inevitable result, and just being there as loving witnesses, fully present to everything that is happening. I know there are those who might scoff at this, who say it does nothing to change our broken and hurting world, but I beg to differ. I believe it is the only thing that does. And on our journey of the soul, on our coming home to the realization that love truly is all there is, that God is ever present everywhere, on our journey we are walking with others, and this witnessing, this loving, open-hearted holding of our beautiful brothers and sisters all over the world is a wonderful and essential part of our spiritual journey home as well. We're all just walking each other home, right? We're walking each other home. Ernest Holmes says, to practice the presence of God is to awaken within us the Christ consciousness. Christ is God in the soul of man. The resurrection is the death of the belief that we are separated from God. For death is the illusion. Death is to the illusion alone and not a reality. God did not die. What happened was that man awoke to life. The awakening must be on the part of man, since God is already life. Let's take a deep breath. And will you say with me, I am ready to be an instrument of God's love.
I am ready to be an instrument of God's love.
I am willing to stand witness.
I am willing to stand witness.
I hold all beings tenderly in my heart.
I hold all beings tenderly in my heart.
My soul is on a beautiful journey of love.
My soul is on a beautiful journey of love.
And so, my beloveds, beginneth our lesson. And now is the time of the celebratory of the abundance of this universe that loves to express through us all. It is also the time that we get to bring the tithes and to celebrate the joyous experience of the giving that multiplies the receiving, and giving to the closest source of our spiritual food. So if the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living is one of those closest sources of your spiritual food, won't you, along with me, share your goodness with this beloved community now? We're going to say together our prosperity affirmation. I choose to celebrate prosperity. Divine love blesses my gift. It is my acceptance of God as the source of my abundant supply. With joy and gratitude, I share my abundance with this center. In doing so, I am one with the law of circulation. My tithe goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It returns to me multiplied abundantly, and I am prospered, and so it is.
constant is the love of the one. I can feel my heart beating like a drum. One mystery ends and another's begun. Constant is my soul, constant is the sun. Constant is the love of the one. I can feel my heart beating like a drum. One mystery ends.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Greater Philadelphia Centers for Spiritual Living morning announcements, and I'm Jeff Maxine, and I serve as the Secretary of your Board of Trustees and the Executive Producer of the AV team. Thank you. And yes, we are still live streaming right here from Inspiration Cafe here in Paoli, Pennsylvania, and we are thrilled you are tuning in today, wherever you are in the world. And in case you missed it, I'd like to take a minute to read Edie Janik, our board president's monthly message from the board. It's wonderful delight in the emergence happening all around us. Animals and plants alike respond to the call. We too have the opportunity to come into view, both physically and in consciousness, at a special in-person Easter Sunday celebration on April 17th at the Great Valley Sheraton on Lancaster Avenue, across from the Home Depot, in Fraser. It's the first of many in-person GPCSL events planned for 2022 and promises to be a morning filled with music, inspiration, and celebration. And we look forward to seeing you there. If you are unable to attend in person, there will be a rebroadcast of it later in the evening on Facebook and YouTube. And as an added note, we will be premiering a special Good Friday service on Friday, April 15th at noon. Just go to our Facebook or YouTube channels or click on the watch button on the homepage. And here's a board update. The GPCSL Board of Trustees is currently focused on evaluating our financial position, identifying opportunities for future events, and ultimately a new meeting place for in-person Sunday celebrations and classes. Great things to come, and a great big thank you to all who contribute their time, talent, and treasure to our beloved community and center. We continue to be a beacon of light for those seeking a community and philosophy that promotes living, loving, and learning with spirituality that works. Don't hesitate to contact Edie Janik or anyone on the board if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions. Please just email admin@cslphilly.com. We love to hear you. And if you are watching us and enjoying our Sunday celebrations and love notes on our Facebook, please remember to like and subscribe and share with others. When you subscribe, you will receive notices when our Sunday celebrations and our daily love notes are uploaded. Do remember again, there will be a premiered live stream of a Good Friday service on the 15th and our in-person Easter celebration at the Sheraton. That's it for today, and remember always to treat and move your feet. Back to you, Reverend Maxine.
Thank you, Jeffrey. What a good job you do with our announcements. I think some people may tune in just to listen to them. Well, lovely being with you today. We're going to have a closing song again by our Daniel Namod. Gosh, we love him. This is called Father of My Soul.
Shadow, for the triumphs and trials, for the moment and mystery, for the sorrow and the smile, for the peace and the conflict, for the silence and song, for the calm and confusion, for the winter and the warm. Oh, mother of my heart, thank you for the blessings of the day. Mother of my heart, thank you for the blessings of the day. For the light and the shadow, for the triumphs and trials, for the moment and mystery, for the sorrow and the smile, for the peace and the conflict, for the silence and song, for the calm and confusion, for the winter and the war, for the light and the shadow, for the triumphs and trials, for the moment and mystery, for the sorrow and the smile, for the peace and the conflict, for the silence and song, for the calm and confusion, for the winter and the war. Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day.
And so we go forth with confidence and humility, clearly understanding that as we keep our hearts open wide, we are walking a beautiful journey and bringing our brothers and sisters with us on this well-lighted path. Love goes before us, and it makes all the crooked places straight. And so it is.